Welcome back to another episode of Stuff I Make with Grand Inquisitor Chris. Today I'm not going to do a how-to video, but rather show you something I did and just discuss some of the pros and cons that I came up with when I was doing it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about painting hoods. So, for a lot of people that have done painting hood videos to show what they have, a lot of them will go ahead and take the tote bins like I have here on the bottom and cut a hole in them and put a fan motor on. What I've actually done is taken a Lasco 16-inch standard fan like this one. I have two of the boxes, which you can see here. I've got this is the outside of the box, or the front. Got another outside front piece there. These are the insides of the box. Went ahead and hot glued them together. This year for my tax return, I also went ahead and bought a flat screen TV that came with some of this super fancy cordboard, and I went ahead and used that for the front, but I also used it for the back section in there. I went ahead and hot glued everything in place. So granted, it's not as sturdy as if I made it out of wood or something, but as you can see, it is much bigger than what that tote bin would give me. To hold it in place in the front, let's see. You can see I have a piece of PVC pipe here that I went ahead and cut to length and hot glued in place. Got a little turntable in there that I used to spray paint stuff on. Now I've already gone ahead and used this a few times to try it out. I live in an apartment, which is why I did it the way that I did it. I am not suggesting that anyone else should do it this way, but this is just the process that I did. Because living in an apartment, I can't just go ahead and run a hose down the hallway and then out a door, like you could if you owned your own house, or were renting a house and had a garage or something. Living in an apartment makes things a little more difficult for hobbying. So for the exhaust, what I've done is I went ahead and made a exhaust here. This is an Amazon box that I got. I went ahead and cut a hole out on this side, put a piece of cardboard in the back to reinforce it a little bit. Now let me go ahead and put this in here. And you can see the outlets that I made. And what I did was I went ahead and cut, let me go ahead and put the camera down for a second. So, here we go looking at it from the back. The hole is up here at the front. I've put it into the window which it vents out of. I went ahead and taped it here along all the sides. Same thing at the bottom. Now you saw the cardboard that was on the inside. What I basically did was I cut a 4-inch hole out, because it's a 4-inch ducting. Hot glued it in place, sticking out on both ends. So on the outside of the box and the inside of the box. On the outside of the box, I went ahead and hot glued more cardboard inside of it to reinforce it. So it's basically a cardboard strip that I went ahead and bent to the circle shape. Hot glued in place, another cardboard strip inside of that, another cardboard strip inside of that. So it's fairly sturdy inside. Inside the box, what I did is instead of putting more cardboard in the inside of the tube, I went ahead and hot glued cardboard to the outside of the tube. And then went ahead and went over that with a layer of tape. Now I've got two different types of ducting here. This is more of a mylar. This is actual aluminum. Not happy with either of them. I'll be replacing them with vinyl. But I wanted to show you what I have here, because this is a very short setup. It's not something that you can just run down a hallway. This piece of aluminum ducting cost me $9, I think. This piece I bought as part of a kit that I was going to try and use, but it was just, I'm not really happy with the kit after I got it open, so I'm just using it as a temporary stopgap. I've got some quick release clamps on here. I am not happy with those, so I'm actually going to go ahead and resort to the huge heavy-duty zip ties when I go ahead and fix this up again. Now here you can see I've got this set up with 2 different fans. Now for the top of this, I've got the inside of the box here. I cut a hole in that to match each of the 2 fans. Hot glued this piece of heavier duty cardboard on top. There are little tabs here, 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 and here that keep the fans from falling inside. When you get these, you actually have to do some assembly work. There's a cord on the inside that you plug into another unit in here, but you have to go ahead and wire it from here to an outlet. Now I've seen some people go ahead and put a little light switch inside that they hardwire these into and then hardwire a power supply into the light switch. I've gone ahead and gone with something simpler, just a power strip. Using the power strip, I have both fans on, and now they're turned on. Also, I have a light that I've connected to the power strip that's running it on the inside. So you can see it here. You can see some of the stuff up here moving around the airfield. Now, one of the things that I had to deal with this is you can see that I've got some black here. This isn't actually heavy. Okay, when the exhaust fan sucks it up, it dries it out. So when this comes out, it comes out as powder. And basically what it is these boxes have little slots and tabs and things on them that are for various uses, little screw holes, things like that. So after I ran it for a few times, I went ahead and looked here to see where I had any little leaks from. I also had a leak here where the cords come out. So what I did to remedy that, to keep the paint from coming out as much, is I went ahead and bought a roll of the aluminum tape that they use to make things watertight and airtight. Tore small strips of it off and just put it anywhere where I had a gap showing up. You don't have to worry about sealing this seam here, because since it's negative airflow in here, anything at this seam is going to get sucked back in. So it's not like it's going to be blowing stuff out of this seam. It's just little holes and stuff on the actual machine itself. Stuff like this. Nothing came out of this one, but there's a lot of workings and stuff over here on this side and this side that caused some of the leaks. So I've gone ahead and done that. When I upgrade this a little bit more, I'm going to go ahead and replace the ducting with vinyl ducting. I'm going to cut these to the halfway mark and bend them in, just to give me a little bit more space here to the side. I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of fabric on the floor underneath the 2 tote bins. Glue a piece of wood to the top of it so that I can basically fold it up, and the section that's under the tote bins will hold it in kind of like a hinge. And what I want to do that for is because since I am in an apartment and I don't want to have to replace the carpet, occasionally you'll have a spray can that just leaks drops of paint out as you're spraying. So I'm going to have a piece of wood here so that anything dropping hits that. Now, some of the things that I'm going to talk about with this is that this isn't a super simple setup. Everything is just hot glued in place, solid enough. I'm going to go ahead and put a cart under it so that I can actually have the paints and stuff in the cart. But the learning curve was the ducting. I'm going to go with the vinyl because the aluminum especially, I'm worried about if I take it out of the window too many times, that it's just going to tear at some point. The Mylar I'm not really happy with because it's just not really forgiving. I'm worried about it tearing or getting a tiny hole in it. It's kind of fragile. Also, having the vinyl would make it a little easier to see if I get a tear, because I'll see any paint coming out of the hole forming on it like it does up here. Let's see, what else can I tell you about this thing? As far as the turntable inside, you can buy the turntable hardware from any hardware store. It's just a round circle that I bought also from the hardware store, and a couple of squares of wood that I put the turntable onto. When you're doing this, you can see right there a bead of the super glue. It is not super important to seal all of the seams on the back here, because since the airflow is going to be negative in here going up, there shouldn't be anything coming out of that. And when I checked it, there was nothing showing up as having come out of it. So it shouldn't be a huge deal. Going with the setup here with the power strip also means I can put additional lights on if I need to, and I probably will. One of the things that I did screw up on this is you'll notice that I cut out the full square here to put the fans. I really should have just cut a circle out the same size as the fan entrance. Give a little bit more stability here, because the fan itself doesn't necessarily have to rest all the way into this side. It'll give a little bit more structural stability. But that's what I did with it. And let me show you something. See the paint getting sucked around. Kind of makes a little bit of a vortex there. But I just thought this was a cool idea that I'd been working on. I've been wanting to get this done for quite some time. I will be eventually replacing that unit with the probably a better box and definitely a better setup inside. But I just wanted to show you guys what I had so far and give you guys some ideas of what you can do as far as apartment hobbying, because I know it's not easy if you're in an apartment to do all the hobby stuff that you want. Because I'm going to just be honest, I do not want to deal with my neighbors 99.9% of the time. So going in and out of my apartment with boards to take them down to the street to spray paint them out in the street isn't really an option. I can't do it on the railing out front because they've got nice silver paint on it, so it would show up. So this is my solution to being in an apartment and having the hobbying going on. Now when this is not in use, I just go ahead and turn it off here, take that back out of the window, lay it on top of here. I can lower the blinds back down. Just wanted to show this off and see what you guys think. If you like what I did, or don't like what I did, leave comments in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. If you want to support the things I do, I have a PayPal me link in the video description. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.